Good morning. How's everybody doing? What time is it? It's 11 o'clock. 11 o'clock. That's right. I do this at the same time and I couldn't remember what time it is. Let's see. First of all, let me know in the chat. Look okay? Sound okay? How's the audio? Loud enough? Too loud? Not loud enough? Let me see who's here. Pickles, how you doing? Big Smoke. Kenneth. Mike Montoya. Pickles Barbie. Am I getting tired of turkey yet? Not quite yet. Not quite yet. I enjoy cooking turkey and stuff. It is a lot to eat, and I have a lot of extended family that enjoys when I cook this many turkeys. Yeah. Let's see. Chicken fried barbecue. Thiago, how are you doing? Let me catch up. Sunny G, nice to see you. Jack Lilly. Let's see. Big Smoke, you're doing pork steak smoked with pecan wood chunks. Nice. That looks good. May Fundador. Hope I'm getting that right. Love the music. Thank you. Bottle Cap Barbecue, how you doing? Lorenzo Martinez, good to see you. If I'm missing anybody, I'm sorry. I'll try and catch up here. Let's see. Big Smoke, my cousin and I have been smoking something almost 2 weeks straight now. Nice. Okay. Yeah, I've been doing a lot recently too, if you've seen my videos. Let me get caught up here. Bottle Cap, wishing I had that sniper today. Got all 3 cookers rolling. Wow. All right. Wells Family Homestead, how are you doing? 2 p.m. there. Yeah, you're back east, right? I can't remember exactly where you are. My memory's bad with that. I know people tell me all the time where they're from, and it goes, poof. I remember a few, but very rarely all of them. Let's see. Pickles, yeah, I grill a lot, but man, the weather's something now. Yeah, I know. We don't have to deal with that here. I mean, today it's a comfortable, like 75 degrees, which is cool compared to what it's been. So yeah. So sounds look good. All right, cool. Sounds good. I'm liking the new mic I put. I mean, I had a different mic a few weeks ago. I'm liking this new mic. Plus, it kind of sits out of the way. It's just down here. So I'm liking that. Something else is here. Batting 1,000, right? Thank you. Yeah. Bud Light Daddy Juan, how are you doing? Good to see you. I did the bacon and corn side dish, but on the grill with an iron skillet. I first place on side dish with it. Nice. Yeah, I saw your pictures. They're in the photos today. That's really cool. You guys had a little competition for stuff where you live. That's nice. I like that. Mitchell Davis, how are you doing? Good to see you. Dive Master Matt. Hi, Rye. What's a good beef cut for beginner to smoke? Tri-tip. If you can get tri-tip, look at my video, my favorite way to smoke tri-tip. I use that method almost every single time I do tri-tip, and I get virtually the same results. I mean, almost every time. It's just so consistent if you can get a piece of tri-tip. If you can't get tri-tip and you want to do something a little longer, I would suggest like a chuck roast would be good. But yeah, hands down for cut of beef, tri-tip for me. Yeah. Nigel, how are you doing? Good to see you. Greg Sitzer. Hey, Rye, what's a good injection for turkey? As always say, Renee says hi. Hi, Renee. Greg, did you watch my video today that came out on the smoked turkey on the Oklahoma Joe's Highland? I did an injection on that, which I was very happy with. It was basically 2 sticks of butter, 3 tablespoons of maple syrup, and a couple teaspoons of Frank's Red Hot sauce. I think that was the injection. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that was the injection. But check it out if you haven't watched that video yet. I really liked that injection. The turkey turned out absolutely fantastic. Let's see, get caught up here. 2 p.m. in Philadelphia, Sunny. Cool. Pickles Barbecue, ribs, pork, loin, or tri-tip. Are you talking there? Okay. Tom Lagatol, how you doing? Hey, Rye, I'll be doing a large prime roast for Christmas. Any smoking suggestions? What kind of roast? If you're doing like a ribeye roast or something, I did a video on smoking a ribeye roast. Search for that on my channel. Just search ribeye roast, and that should come up. Really, it's taking it to the temperature you want it to. And if you're, and I'm saying ribeye roast because I don't know what cut. If you have what cut it is, say it in the chat, and I'll look at that. But roasts are interesting because they're more about the thickness. Like a ribeye roast, you have to think, it's about this long, and really your temperature is right here, but it's coming from the sides, the heat. So it's a little different than like a chuck roast or a brisket and things like that. It cooks very differently and doesn't take as long, but comes out awesome. Yeah. Newcomb, how you doing? Good to see you. Big Smoke. Last night we had chicken leg smoked with cherry wood chunks. Yeah, I like cherry wood. I like cherry wood with chicken. Really good. Thiago, hey, tomorrow is baby back ribs day. Isn't every day baby back rib day? I could probably eat ribs, not every day. Twice a week, I think I could eat ribs and be very happy, you know. Nigel, not keen at all on injection, just me, I guess. I don't usually inject either. I rarely do I inject anything. Yesterday on the turkey when I was doing the smoked one, I just decided to try it because smoking a turkey for a longer period of time, there is always the risk with drying out the breast. And it really works when you're doing it a little bit lower. I mean, I did 250 to 300. It was mostly around 300 degrees most of the time. Took 5 hours, and that breast meat was just perfect. Yeah, it's almost gone. I mean, already. I mean, it was my wife and my son had a little bit, but her mother-in-law, yeah, it was really good. Mike Pusateri, how are you doing? Good to see you. Tom Lagerdahl, prime rib. Yeah, look for my video on my channel for smoking a ribeye roast. Prime rib and ribeye roast, very similar. Really what you're doing is you're giving it the time to get to the temperature you want, and with a good rub on the outside of crust. And you have to pick your temperature. Do you like it, you know, usually prime rib, people are going for medium rare. You know, you don't want to go much beyond that. I mean, I know some people like it, but the nice thing about that is if you're doing a roast, say, that's this long, the ends are going to be more done. So if you have people who like that more well done thing, the ends of the roast will provide that, and the center being sort of your rare to medium rare. So really focus on the temperature and giving it the time it needs, but it won't take a super long time depending on the size. So yeah, look at that video of mine, the ribeye roast, smoking a ribeye roast, because it's very similar to a prime rib roast. Let's see. Jose Rivera, when smoking a turkey, should I use more lump coals than wood? It depends on what you're smoking it on. If you're smoking it on an offset, no, I'd use wood. If you're using, you know, in a kettle or something like that, I would stick to the charcoal. But personally, I don't prefer, if you're talking about lump charcoal versus briquettes, I prefer briquettes because they're more stable in terms of how they burn over time. You know, if you've used lump, you know, you get some big, some small, and lump is great for really building high temperatures. So if you want high temperature at any point, you can always add some lump. Let's say you want to bring that skin a little bit more cooked or crispy near the end, you can knock that temperature up using lump. But if you're doing it in a large cooker like an offset, I would prefer to use, you know, wood the entire time. Let's see. Chicken fried barbecue, spare ribs for you. I don't have any problem with spare ribs. Yeah, I love spare ribs. In fact, I love doing spare ribs because there's just so much meat on them. You know, you can trim them down to St. Louis and use the trimmings for, you know, making beans and things like that, or you can leave them whole. I just love spare ribs. Zoltan, how are you doing? Good to see you. I'm doing great. Thank you. Tom Lagerdahl, thanks, right? Yeah, my pleasure. My pleasure. Jose Rivera, yeah, offset. I would use wood if you can. If you need to supplement it with charcoal, which happens at times because you need to either build heat up or keep heat going and your wood's running low, or a lot of situations, I would prefer to use briquettes just because, again, they're more stable. But if you had to add lump, I would do it sparingly. You know, start with less. You can always add more, but it's hard once it's going. And, you know, lump gives you that great burst of heat. It really burns well. Most lump charcoal burns hot. Let's see where we at here. Cheers. Lorenzo, cheers from Argentina. Hey, nice. I don't know if we've had anyone from Argentina before you. Maybe we have, but I'm not sure. Nigel, what are your favorite movies this week? I don't know. I haven't thought about it for this week. You have to give me a week to think of my favorite movies for next week. Things like that. Yeah. Daddy Dutch Barbecue, how you doing? Hi, Ryan. Another 14 turkeys cooking away. Man, that's right. You do all those turkeys. Nice, man. You're cooking for church again? I mean, that's really cool. Irene Pearson. Hi, honey. Well, hello, Irene. That's my wife. Where are you? You were supposed to be here for the live stream. Are you still out with your mom? Danny Seeley. Hey, Rye, I'll have to try Chinese turkey. Yeah, I mean, the Chinese turkey, or actually any sort of turkey that isn't that traditional, you know, Thanksgiving-y flavor, is really good. And also, if there are people that don't like Thanksgiving flavors, there are people I know who don't like the sage and rosemary and all those things. You can do a Chinese turkey. You can do, you know, a straight teriyaki turkey. There's so many different ways you can do it. You could do a buffalo wing turkey using sort of like Frank's Red Hot and things like that. So yeah, play around with it. Let's see. Let me get caught up here. Nigel, 41 watching. Please hit the thumbs up button. Yeah, thanks you. That's cool. Got 41 people in here. If you're enjoying the live stream, give it a thumbs up. You know, we always appreciate that. Ray Guy, how you doing? I love that name, Ray Guy. That'd be. Are you a scientist? Because that's an awesome name for a scientist. I'm Ray Guy. Nice to see you, Ray. Let's see. Let me get caught up here. Fire and Water Cooking, how are you doing? Good to see you. Let's see. Chicken fried barbecue. We need to be reminded. Thanks, Nigel. Yeah, thank you, Nigel. I appreciate that. Letting people know to hit the thumbs up. Jorge Pulido. Let's see. I'm going to see if I can translate this. Saludos desde Guadalajara, Mexico. You're saying hello from Guadalajara? My Spanish is horrible. I took like a year of Spanish back in junior high school way long time ago, you know, 40 years ago. And I always remember that in our first like few days, we had to learn to say, you know, my name is, but we had to pick what the teacher thought was like a Spanish name. So I was Paco. So the very first words I learned to speak in Spanish were "Me llamo Paco." And honestly, I remember very little beyond that. I took German in high school too, and I only remember basically how to say potato salad in German, or elderberry wine. I don't know why those things stick with me, but yeah. But good to see you, Jorge. Reflex Man, for burgers made with chuck, what else would you put in the mix? Let's see. Bacon's never bad. I mean, if you want to add something, I would put bacon in there. You just have to remember, if it's fully uncooked bacon, you want to cook that burger well. But again, you can par cook the bacon so that it's mostly done. Chop it up, put it through if you're grinding. You know, I don't know if you're grinding the chuck. Let's see. Or you're just using pre-ground chuck. You can mix it in, or if you're grinding it, grind it right up with the chuck if it's par cooked. I also like tri-tip. I've done burgers with tri-tip and chuck mixed together. Really good flavor. So, I mean, it depends on what sort of extra flavors you're doing. You can actually add, if you're going for something outside the meat realm, just grind up some onions in with it. That's really good to have the onions ground right in with the meat. You get a great flavor in there. John Knapp, come on, someone set bat calories. Yeah, I'm still working on a follow-up animation for the appearance of Chicken Joker. So, you know, Chicken Joker is still around right now. Lorenzo Martinez, suggestions for pork butt. Well, I mean, if you've never done a pork butt, you could search my videos for pork butt, search YouTube for pork butt. There's tons of videos on doing pork butt. Pork butt is similar to brisket, and then in that you have to give it time. You want to take it to a certain temperature and probe for tenderness. I mean, the minimum would be somewhere around, for me, 195, that you're really going to start probing for tenderness. You're going to, you know, take your temperature probe, slide it in, see how tender, any resistance. Really key, a good rub. I love a good sweet rub on pork butt, a brown sugar rub, things like that. But yeah, check out some of my videos. Just search pork butt. I've done them several times. They're not hard to do. You just have to give them time. Yeah. Let's see. So, Daddy Dutch, you're cooking for church? That's awesome. Irene, you're walking in Brea. I know, yes. Nigel says Bat Cow rocks. Yeah, Bat Cow's pretty cool. Firewater Cookie. Chinese turkey is really duck from A Christmas Story. As I was doing that, I was thinking about that. You know, them chopping off the head. I love that movie, man. I love that movie. Nigel, great job, Kent. Yeah, it is. Cooking all those turkeys for people, man. Licks59, Irene, ask Rice something embarrassing. Oh, she has the goods on me for sure. But I have the goods on her too. John Knapp, put some more chairs out. We'll fill the auditorium. Twan Vorselman, Twan, how you doing? Potato salad in German is Kartoffelsalat, right? Kartoffelsalat. And then Elderbeerbola was elderberry wine or elderberry punch. Elderbeerbola? Something like that. Uh-oh. We have a donation to the Meat Fund from Wells Family Homestead. Now, last week, we had the appearance of an interloper into Bat Cow and Pig Robbins, you know, stage. So Wells Family Homestead, thank you very much for the donation to the meat fund. And for that, we're going to bring back this.
Bat Cow thanks you.
Right on, Bat Cow.
Oh no, Bat Cow.
You're mine now, piggy.
Oh, man. Thank you very much, Wells Family Homestead, for the donation and for bringing Bat Cow, Pig Robin, and Chicken Joker out of the shadows. I don't know. I just have fun with that. Thank you very much. I do appreciate the donations to the Meat Fund. I appreciate everybody who helps support the channel. You know, I can't believe I'm almost at 15,000 subscribers. I think I hit 14.5 a day or two ago. It's just crazy. I mean, absolutely crazy. Zoltan K. Ride, do you have any more Mexican recipes? The pulled pork enchiladas were very tasty. I can't remember if I have any more on my channel, strictly Mexican recipes. Actually, well, okay, here we go. Today, actually, and the video I think is going to be out tomorrow, doing a turkey chili verde. So, you know, it has the sort of Mexican theme in it with a nice green sauce. So not from scratch green sauce, because it's really, this is based upon using sort of your leftover turkey and what you can do with it. So yeah, I'll be doing that today. So I think that video will be out tomorrow. Fire and Water Cooking. Cooking tri-tip today for video. Matador Prime Steak sent me some hard to find here in Florida. Yeah, I hear that again. I'm still always surprised that it's hard to find tri-tip in other areas of the country. Yeah. Nigel, nice one, Wells Family. Yes, thank you very much, Wells Family. John Knapp, thanks. We love Bat Cow. Only thing better is the Black Friday turkey. Yeah, that was your comment, wasn't it? That would be awesome. Scent1000, why is the pork shoulder called a pork butt? I never understand that. The pork butts are from the front, you know, of the pig. If I remember correctly, and I'm not an expert on this, the stuff from the back is really used for the hams. Someone correct me if I'm wrong, but like the picnic shoulder, the butt, things like that, the blade roast, they're all up from the front, you know. So I actually, one of the things I heard, and I could be wrong on this, that one of the reasons they were called the butt was that they used to be stored in barrels or something once they were butchered, and those barrels were called butts. That's just what I read. That could be 100% wrong, but so I don't know. Let's see. Pickles Barbecue tri-tips falls off the trees here. Yeah, it's like I always tell people, it's like chicken here in Southern California. It's just, you can get it, you know, you go in to buy your chicken, you go in to buy, you know, steak, it's tri-tips is there. Pickles Barbecue, butt of a shoulder is my guess. Picnic shoulder, even better. Yeah, the picnic shoulder is the one that looks more like a traditional sort of ham, you know, kind of that narrow top and everything. It's from the bottom side. Bat Cow, yep. Close, how you doing? How's it going, Rye? Hope all's well. All is very nice. It's getting close to Thanksgiving here. For those of you not in the States, next Thursday is Thanksgiving. And while I bring that up, let me two things. One, there will be no live stream next Saturday. I won't be around to do stuff. I got a lot of stuff going on. So no live stream next Saturday. There will be one the following Saturday. But there will be live stream this coming Wednesday, the 21st at 4 p.m. And it's going to be a pre-Thanksgiving live stream at 4 o'clock in the afternoon Pacific. Join in if you're around, if you can. Just going to hang out, talk food, talk Thanksgiving stuff, talk anything. It may go an hour, may go 2 hours. I don't know. I just kind of want to hang out the Wednesday before Thanksgiving and see if anyone wants to hang out too. So if you're around and you want to just get online and chat and talk about stuff, come on. So Wednesday at 4 p.m. right here. And there'll be a notice that goes out. Let's see. Fire and Water Cooking. You never saw that one before? Yeah, that was the third in the series of the Meat Fund donation animations. Yeah, thumbs up for Bat Cow. Thank you, Zoltan. John Knapp. Now I feel bad if I don't give at least $10. That's one heck of a production. Well, just imagine what I have to do for the next one, which is someone to come in and rescue Pig Robin somehow and bring Bat Cow back into the mix. So I got to work on that. That's taking some doing. I have some ideas, but it's a little bit more involved, and that's a little bit of screen space there. I didn't want to make anybody too small, so yeah. John Knapp, butts are more romantic. That's true. That's true. Chicken fried barbecue comes from the Latin word butus, meaning cask or barrel. So then that is correct. I mean, that's something about them being stored in a barrel. That's interesting. Never knew that. All right, so viewer photos that were submitted. I think we should get some viewer slides in here. Once again, if you have pictures of anything you've been cooking, your barbecue you're proud of, your smoker, anything like that, you can go to my Facebook page and you can private message me the photos, and always put a message in there saying you give me permission to use them. If you don't do Facebook, you can go to the About section of my YouTube page, and there should be a little thing down there that says View Email. You can email them to me, and same thing, just say you give permission to use them, and we'll feature them on an upcoming live stream. So I don't know that we'll have photos on Wednesday, the one I'm doing right before Thanksgiving, but the following week in December, the first one, we definitely will have photos. So let's move on to this. And oh, for some reason, this one looks a little off center, but so pardon if it looks a little weird. Hey, we got Bud Light Daddy Juan here. Is this your Bicornian that won the first place? I think it was. I'm pretty sure. And then if I remember correctly, these were some pork chops you were doing too? Looking good. And then wait, was these the ones you said that you then took the pork and you chopped it up and mixed it with rice? I think that's what the next photo shows. Let's see. I think I was right. Yeah, looking good, man. That's a really good idea to chop up like good pork and mix it in with rice. That's really filling too, I bet. Nice. So your version of Bicornian and a nice rice side dish with pork. Good job. Good job. All right, Mike Norton. I don't know if Mike is in here, but if I remember correctly, Mike was doing pork steaks. Let's see. Looking good. Those are really good looking pork steaks. Oh, with some nice sides there too. I like that. Nice work. Robert Barnes. How you doing, Robert, if you're in here? If I remember correctly, Robert said this was a sirloin roast. I'm pretty sure he's got the vortex going there. Ah, nice. Look at that. Sliced up. Good. You can tell that thing's juicy. Look at that. Oh, Tim Van Dyke. Tim, are you here? I didn't see you in here. Tim, look at Tim's doing a brisket here. A good looking brisket. Good sized brisket here. Really fitting it in there. Kind of had to wedge that brisket in there, Tim. I remember if you said in the message. Yeah, look at that. Oh, look at that bark. Look at that bark on there. Wow. That's really nice looking. Tim, are you here, man? This is a good looking brisket. Nice slice there. Got some flat, got some point. Yeah. Oh, and then chopped up and pulled. Look at that. Nice. That'd make some great sandwiches. I love taking stuff like that and mixing it up with some barbecue sauce and just piling it on some good toasted bread. Oh, really good. And I think that might have been our last one for this week. Yep, we're back to Bud Light Daddy Juan. So really, really nice photos this week. As every week, as I mentioned last week, we're over 200 photos that people have submitted since I started doing these live streams in the summer. And I think that's just amazing. Really good food. I love seeing what everybody's cooking. I know other people love seeing what people are cooking. And just thank you for sending them. Again, if you go to my Facebook page, private message me the photos. Don't do it as a post. Private message. Just say, hey, here's some photos of what I'm cooking. And, you know, here's permission to use them. And, you know, do that. I'd love to see them. Love to feature them in an upcoming live stream. All right. Let me check chat here. Let's see. Dive Master Matt, how are you doing? I just picked up a 2.5 pound tri-tip. That's a good size. Most of the tri-tips, you know, that I end up doing are somewhere between 2 and 3.5 pounds, maybe. I have gotten some prime ones occasionally that are a little bigger, but that's a really normal size for a tri-tip, 2.5 to 3 pounds around here. Yeah, good. How are you going to cook that? Nigel, great stuff, chicken fried. Nice. Reflex Man, love the bacon idea. Corny burgers. What about paprika powder? Not sure what that's for. Let's see. Let me get caught up here. Yeah, Tim, that was a nice looking brisket. Tim, where are you, man? You have your brisket here and everybody's loving it? Let's see. And Bud Light Daddy 1, I know I saw you. There you are. Okay, there you are. Yeah. John Knapp, I can see a cookbook in the future. You know, it's funny. People have said that so many times, you know, over the last 6 months. You know, I'm a writer. That's my day job. So, and I've always said no. And I've tried to figure a way, is there any way to do a cookbook that wouldn't just be like, here's recipes, you know, because that really wouldn't be interesting to me to slap a bunch of recipes in a cookbook. I mean, I think if you had recipes and things in there, that's fine. But, you know, is there a way to approach it? And I have some ideas. So I'm not saying never, but I'd have to really think about the best way to do it, you know, and is it a great use of time? Honestly, I have to look at that too, because, you know, writing generally needs to sort of pay off in the stuff I write, because that's my job. So I'd have to look at that, but I'm not saying never. I'm just not saying tomorrow. Let's see. Bud Light Daddy 1. I chopped up the pork chops, mixed with the white gravy, and sauteed bella mushrooms and mixed with white rice. That really looked good. I mean, that really, really looked good. You know, the Bicornian, okay, it's good. I know that I've had it, but that rice dish looked really good. I may have to steal that. That's a good thing, man. Let's see. Dive Master Matt, going to watch a few videos first. I just bought a Master Touch kettle. Nice. Yeah. I do tri-tips on my kettle all the time. Just do them indirect and sear them and then finish indirect. That's my, what's it? The 110 sear method that I use. Yeah. 1040 Slasher 26, 2006. That's a long name. Yeah. Bought my first smoker this year, an OK Joe's Highland, and your vids have significantly shortened the learning curve of using an offset, so thanks so much. Keep them coming. I appreciate that. Thank you. Yeah. The Oklahoma Joe's Highland, you know, for a starter offset smoker, that's what I've started with. Eventually, I'll want to move up just to have more capacity, but it does the job. I mean, it really does. And for the price, it was a real good deal. I mean, and the main modification I did to it, which has really helped, was the baffle plates, which was under $100 and really, really work well. So yeah, I mean, I love using that smoker, and doing the turkey on it yesterday was really fun, because it had been a while since I'd done a whole turkey on there, and yeah, I really like that. Let's see, Nigel, USA divorce rate is 40 to 50%. Community divorce 0. I wonder why. Okay, not sure what that's referring to. Maybe I'm missing something here. Mitchell Davis, what's your best book? I'll learn to read and try. Okay, well, here's the thing. Let me share this with you. Let me see if I can find a copy of this. Hold on. I don't know if I have a copy of it here. Let me see. I used to have a copy of this book sitting right here. Just a minute. Where is... I don't see it. Okay, so I don't see the book I'm thinking of. A few years ago, okay, I'm kind of a funny guy when I'm just around people. Okay, I try to be funny. I love to laugh, and I love to make people laugh. The stuff I write is totally not like that. And it's funny because for years, you know, writing movies and things like that, I'd always joke, you know, say, oh, I'd love to try a comedy. And everyone who worked with me, you know, my managers and agents, it's like, you can't write comedy. No, you're not allowed. And that's partly because you get stuck sort of in what you write. So a few years ago, I wanted to write just something funny. And so I wrote a book, really short book. I mean, it's really just a long, short story, and put it out under another name, even though people knew it was me. And it's on Amazon. You can get it. It's called, what's the title of the book again now? I think it's called, it's called Get a Good Tree or Die Trying. And the author's name is Ray Allman, Allman. If you're looking for something to read of mine that very few people have read because it's comedy, that would be something to try. I love it. I think it's hilarious. And the people who've read it think it's hilarious, but it's not my thing, you know, that I normally write. So it was really fun to do that. Yeah, I enjoy sort of branching out and being able to try things like that. I don't get to do that in terms of a sort of an income earning thing, because it just isn't what I write that is sort of what people want side of things. So yeah. Let's see. John Knapp. Okay, how about offset sci-fi? Smokers in space. Kind of like all those old 50s movies. I loved those things. The sort of the 50s sci-fi movies and things you would see. There's just like blank in space. You know, hula girls in space. They would just do that. Those were awesome movies to watch, man. Wells Family Home said a cookbook would be great if it also had substitutions for ingredients, like when a recipe calls for beer, wine. What would you use? You know, when something calls for beer and wine, it two different flavor things there. You know, beer has a little bit more of that on the savory side of things. Wine is a little bit more usually on the sweet side, not always. I usually substitute like fruit juice and things like that if I'm looking for a substitution. It's really simple. I honestly don't worry about the exactitude of ingredients when you're talking about what it is versus how much. How much is more important. I'll play around with recipes and I'll look in the refrigerator sometimes and see, I wonder how that would taste in that. And I'll give it a try. But yeah, substitutions are a good idea. I mean, we have people in our family who have, you know, health issues. They can't have things. My daughter has celiac disease. She can't have gluten at all. At all. Even the minutest amount of cross-contamination affects her. So you can't take a knife and cut a piece of bread and then cut a vegetable and have her eat the vegetable. It just doesn't work. So we have like completely separate things in my house for things that contain gluten and things that don't have gluten. Different plates, different forks, knives, all that stuff. So yeah. And we have people who cannot have very much salt, and I'm lactose intolerant, and so I have to watch the amount of like milk and cheese and butter and things like that I have. I can have some, but I just can't overdo it. So substitutions are a great thing. In fact, we're going to be doing a video, my wife and I, that's a redo of a video I did recently on my mom's holiday cracker pie. We're going to do the gluten-free version of it because it's super easy to do gluten-free. And I've had people ask me in comments and messages, oh, do you ever do gluten-free dishes? The weird thing is barbecue and smoking, almost everything you cook can be gluten-free. So if that's something that's, you know, you have to do because of your diet or your choice, barbecue, grilling, smoking and everything, awesome. Yeah. Let's see. Corey Harris, Rye, your voice is super calming, just FYI. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Hubert, how are you doing? Hello, sir. Love your videos. I have a Masterbuilt electric smoker, and I'm wondering if you have done cheese in one. I've heard of using ice to keep the temp down inside the box. I haven't done cheese on my Masterbuilt, or excuse me, in my, Masterbuilt. I haven't done cheese in my Masterbuilt or in any electric. I haven't done cheese at all smoking. But I have a Charbroil electric and a Masterbuilt electric. The Masterbuilt's pretty old, and the heating element is not keeping up, and it's actually really hard to find parts for that old one. So I'm going to try and convert that to a cold smoker. So that'll be really great for doing cheese. I've heard the ice thing too, but it really is important for that temperature not to go too high. And I know a lot of people will just use the smoke tubes where it's filled with sort of the sawdust of the smoke flavor you want, and that just sort of smolders in there without really providing much heat. So look into that if you haven't. Nigel, we are the community. Yeah, you know, my wife and I, we're 28 years going strong. Our anniversary was just last weekend. So yeah. Mandy Speakman. Hey, Rye. Hey, Mandy, how you doing? Hey, Rye, hope you're well. Late check-in tonight, but we're here now. Good to see you. Thank you. John Knapp. We love you, Rye. Well, thank you. Rye rocks. Nigel. Brian Connor. Brian, how are you doing? Thanks for all the great videos, Rye. Appreciate it much. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. I'm still flabbergasted that, you know, how many people watch the videos and comment and just have fun, you know, enjoy the videos and leave funny comments and things. I enjoy all that stuff, or give suggestions. That's the other thing, is there's a lot of times in the comments of the videos that someone will have done something differently that I haven't thought of. I'm not an expert on any of this. And other people will chime in and say, oh, that's a great idea. I'll try that. I love that. Yeah. Let's see. Wells Family Home said, is it Oscar funny? You mean like the movie Oscar? I think we were talking about that. I love that movie. And I'm always surprised how few people have seen that movie with Sylvester Stallone. That was great. I don't know if it's Oscar funny, but I think it's funny, you know. Let's see. Mitchell Davis. The book has 4.6 stars on Amazon. Good job. Yeah, it's probably because only about 90 people have read it and bought it, because it's just, again, I did it as sort of just to have fun. But it's a Christmas, it's a Christmas book. That's I put it out, I want to say like 4 or 5 years ago, maybe even longer. And it was actually, it's not a true story, but it's based upon miscommunication, which I think everybody in the age of autocorrect has had happen. And that's what this sort of the genesis of the story. So yeah, but thank you very much. Delana Bersham, hey Rye, happy Thanksgiving to you and your family from Thomasville, North Carolina. How are you doing? Thank you very much. Delana, nice to hear you. Is it Delana or Delana? Delana the first way or Delana the second way? Let me know if I'm getting it wrong, or a third way that I'm totally messing up. John Knapp, only an imaginative mind can be an entertaining writer. I agree, or a twisted mind, I've been told. Some of the stuff I've written has been pretty dark. That's sort of my thing, which is so completely opposite of my personality, which is really strange. But, that's what I write. I've always written, sort of the thrillers, horror. I've done some straight science fiction and stuff like that, which I really like to do. Yeah, in fact, one of the favorite things I've ever written, a screenplay, which will never be made, but it was one of the favorite things that I've written, and had major people working on it at one point, and it's just I feel bad that it'll never be made, because I think it was really good and the best thing I've ever done. But times change, people move on and stuff like that. But yeah, so sci-fi is another thing I enjoy writing. Let's see. Nigel Rye, please design a barbecue for the moon base. We will need this soon. Thank you. Barbecue on the moon. Barbecuing on Mars. Can you imagine, like, first people there and setting up a smoker? It'd be awesome. Ryan Gilbert. Hey, Ryan. Thanks for adding my dino ribs pics a week back. I actually cooked them on an OK Joe with similar mods to yours. However, I've only really seen WSM videos lately. Oh, with doing the dino ribs? Yeah, a lot of people do dino ribs and things like that on WSMs. Yeah. Ryan Gilbert, what do you run on the OK Joe? What are you talking about? What do I run? You're talking about temps or wood or modifications? If you're talking about modifications, the two major ones that I would do again are the baffle plates, the heat management system, and the gasket around the smoker box, the gasket around the cooking chamber. I did several others. I did a video on what worked and what didn't. The gasket around the lid of the firebox, I wouldn't bother with it. It burned right off after, I don't know, 6 months, and then it honestly works fine without it. I took it off. And then the little latches. On mine, they weren't necessary. I've heard people say that they are necessary on theirs, so I think it just depends on how well your lid fits. But I ended up removing those, so yeah. John Knapp, here's one you have to check out. It's Guga Foods stuffed turkey pumpkin. I've watched Guga Foods stuff, and someone did a chicken and a pumpkin recently. Did they do a whole turkey stuffed in there? That's got to be a big pumpkin. Well, pumpkins do come pretty big sometimes. Brandon, how are you doing? Good to see you. Brandon Larson, hello from Salt Lake City. Barely getting into the chat because I've been out cleaning the UDS. Nice. Yeah, I did smoker cleaning a couple weeks ago, did a video on it, and then I've got to do some grill cleaning this week. And yeah, so yeah. I Am Bible Fellowship. What's better, a dry or wet brine on a turkey? This will be the first time I smoke a turkey. Dry brine is definitely easier. You basically cover I can't remember the measurements that they usually say. It's something like 1/4 to 1/2 teaspoon of salt and maybe pepper or something else per pound, but you could look that up or see other videos on that. And you rub the turkey really well, and you leave it sit in the refrigerator uncovered. I think it's minimum overnight. Some have gone like 2 or 3 days or more. I think Lyle over at No Hippie Barbecue, if you check his channel out, No Hippie Barbecue, he did a dry brine that he did 4 days on a turkey, and it came out looking pretty good. So dry brine's definitely easier. Wet brining, you have to have space to keep it submerged in liquid in the refrigerator or in a cooler with ice on it all the time to keep it at a safe temp. Personally, if it was my first time doing it, and it's a whole turkey, I would do a dry brine, just for simpler, effect. But check out some other videos on it. Like I said, go check out Lyle's at No Hippie Barbecue, his channel. He just recently did a dry brine turkey, which was really good looking. Let's see. George Phillips, can you brine your turkeys too long? I believe you can. If I'm wet brining a turkey, I wouldn't brine it more than, honestly, a day. You can go longer, but I don't find the necessity for going a lot longer for a wet brine. Yeah. Corey Harris, how are you doing? Happy holidays from Alabama. Smoking a brisket and 3 racks of ribs right now. Your videos are so helpful. Well, thank you for saying that, Corey. I appreciate that. And a brisket and ribs are some nice mix of food there. I've done that too. And man, if you have guests that are eating that, isn't it great to watch them when it just disappears before your eyes? You know, there goes the brisket, there go the ribs. It's just, I love watching people eat food I've cooked. Let's see. Nigel Salvatore Stallone, spell wrong, has an IQ of 160 plus. So ironic for Rambo. Yeah, he's a smart guy. He is, actually. And when you look back at you know, some of his stuff, Rocky, which was really him as a force of nature getting that movie made, is still an awesome movie. Just a great movie. Yeah. Zoltan K, I just ordered that book from Amazon. Should be here early next week. Well, thank you very much. I appreciate it. Let me know what you think about it. I think that was, you know, in terms of fun, I had so much fun writing that book. It's a short little, like, I think it's like 30 pages. It's, like I said, it's basically a short story. But I just loved writing that. Yeah. It was a great fun. Welsh Family Homestead. If it wasn't for sci-fi, we would probably still be cutting wood with rocks. Absolutely. Ryan Gilbert, I saw the video on the mods. My gasket burned too. I meant, what are you cooking on the OK Joe? Oh, did a turkey yesterday on it. Let's see. I don't remember what the last thing before the turkey I did. I think it was ribs. Coming up in the next couple weeks, I'm going to be doing something else on it. I'm not sure exactly what yet. But yeah, no, I mean, cooking on it. I'll cook. My favorite things to cook on the Oklahoma Joes are brisket and ribs. I think it really works well, getting a lot of that smoke flavor from the actual burning wood, especially for ribs. Yeah. Let's see. Chris G. George, yes, you can brine too long if you bribe. But Brian, I was saying, too long, you can actually make the meat tough. Brine, not bribe, yeah. Fire and water cooking. It was in the shape of a pumpkin. Interesting. I'll check that out. Nigel, we want bat cow. I can see the bat cows coming. Let me get the other things first. Hold on. Christy, also don't brine a butterball or honeysuckle. They are brined at the plant. Yeah, you have to check in whatever turkey you get. Look and see what's already been done to it. Although I have brined ones that have been pre-injected, and there hasn't been a problem. I think the brining sometimes pulls some of that stuff out. But if you can get a fresh turkey with nothing added to it, that's the best thing to brine. Absolutely the best. Fire and water cooking, dry brine is much better, says Meathead at Amazing Ribs and Kenji from Serious Eats. Yeah, I mean, I prefer the dry brine for ease. I've had great results. I prefer wet brining when it's pieces, like a turkey breast or turkey thighs and legs, things like that. I think they work really well, especially in the thighs and the leg meat with the dark meat. I think they really do well in a wet brine. All right, here we go. We have another donation to the Meat Fund from Nigel. We love you, Rye, and Bat Cow. So, return of Bat Cow and friends.
Bat Cow thanks you.
Oh no, what's happening?
Right on,
No.
Bat Cow.
No. Oh no, Bat Cow.
You're mine now, piggy.
Thank you very much, Nigel. Thank you for the donation to the Meat Fund and for bringing Bat Cow, Pig Robin, and Chicken Joker back out. I appreciate that. Let's see. Gregory Hillman, have you heard any pros or cons on the Pit Boss pellet smokers? I'm not familiar with the Pit Boss pellet smokers. The pellet smokers I've heard the most positive stuff about, and this is just from people I know who use them, Yoder, the Traeger, and the Camp Chef. Now, I know there's many other pellet smokers, but those are just the three that I know people who actually have them and use them, and they really enjoy them. I don't have a pellet smoker. It's on my list of things that I want to get and want to add to my arsenal. I think it's number 2 now after the 26-inch kettle. But I'm not familiar with the Pit Boss pellet smokers. If anyone in the chat is familiar with the Pit Boss pellet smokers, drop some information there for Gregory. Yeah. Chris G, pros of a pellet smoker is being able to set it and forget it. Cons, they don't get tons of smoke penetration. Yeah, I mean, the set it and forget it thing is one of the most attractive things to me to try some things. So yeah, and I think the smoke stuff you're getting is going to be really based upon how much smoke you're getting in there with the moisture of the meat on the surface. You're probably not going to get as much, although I have seen people get pretty good smoke on there. But you're not going to get as much as if you're burning logs, and that's the great thing about offsets. You're burning logs. It's smoke. Smoke is you're coming because you're burning it for heat. Yeah. Bottle cap barbecue. That's going to happen to me later. Right now, I'm cooking a 15-pound brisket, 4 racks of spare ribs, salmon fillets, and barbecue beans. That's a feast. That's an absolute feast, and I wish I lived next to you. I am Bible Fellowship. How about spatchcocking or doing it whole? Are you talking about turkey? I've done spatchcock turkeys several times. They come out awesome. If you're going to smoke it, if you're going to smoke a turkey the first time, I would spatchcock it. If you're doing it whole, that would work well. And I've done that, and they come out great. The key is keeping moisture in there and making sure that it's not drying out the breast meat, especially. Thigh meat, leg meat has it's more forgiving. And if you'll notice, when I did the whole turkey on the video that came out today, the whole turkey on the Oklahoma Joe's Highland, I had the thighs and drumsticks facing the firebox, which is where the more of the heat comes from. Even when you have a heat management system or a baffle plate, there's always going to be a little more heat that comes from that side because it's radiant heat from the firebox. So I had those aimed that way because that side of the turkey is more forgiving for heat. And they can go a little higher. Let's see. Nigel Rye, shout out to the voice from 2001, Hal. Hey, yeah, did you hear about that? That the guy who was the voice of Hal died recently. He was like 93 years old. Yeah, I mean, that voice, when you think about how iconic a voice, just a voice. Yeah. Raphael, hi, Rye, glad I could make it. Just came in from giving the pork belly another pass in the cold smoke to turn it into bacon. Nice. Making your own bacon. That'll work. Dive Master Matt, best smoking temp for whole chicken. If I'm smoking a whole chicken, it depends on what I'm doing it. If I'm doing it on the kettle, I want it to be 350 and above. Between 350 and 400 is great because you'll get it cooking well and the skin will start to get crisped up. If you're doing it in the, let's say an offset smoker, I prefer to do it higher, so 300 and above. If you're doing it in electric, electrics are hard to get up that high. So really what I try and do is 275 to 300. And if you can get it hotter, that's great. But really, if you're smoking chicken, you're going to want that temperature a little bit more in the higher range versus low and slow. At least that's my experience, what I prefer to do it. Let's see, get caught up here. Hope I didn't miss. If I missed your question or anything, please drop it in again or anything you want to say. John Knapp, Nigel, what kind of currency was that? Was that pounds? I think it was pounds. Let's see, Fire and Water Cooking Camp Chef Pellet Grills Rock. All right, there we go. We're getting some information here. Chris G, British pounds was the currency, I believe. Yep. George Phillips, I love my RecTech. You know, I've heard good things about RecTech too. I forgot about that. They do pellets, don't they? Yeah. Mitchell Davis, a man who runs in front of a car gets tired. A man who runs behind cars gets exhausted. I need a rim shot sound effect, but bump. There you go. Let's see. John Knapp, call Tom Horseman. He has one of everything, 2 and 3 of most others. Yeah. Mandy Speakman, loving the turkey vids. Happy Thanksgiving to all. Not a Brits holiday, of course, but I spent Thanksgiving with a friend's family in Bakersfield. Oh, nice. Just north of here. About 15 years ago, and it was fabulous. Yeah, I mean, for Thanksgiving, you know, we do 2, and sometimes we've done 3. We do a Thursday next week. We do a Friday. And a couple years ago, we did a Saturday one, too, based upon number of people who could be at different things. So I love Thanksgiving. This time of year to the end of the year is my favorite time. You know, Thanksgiving through Christmas, just love it. Let's see. Double checking here. Everything good? Let me see. George Phillips, very good pellet smoker, and I use a smoker tube for smoke flavor. Nice. Yeah, I've got to get a smoker tube. I still don't have one. I don't have one. Let's see here. Okay. Let me check something here. I just saw a spike on something. All right. Looking good still, I think. Nigel, God bless this community. May everyone hopes and dreams come true. Absolutely. Thank you very much. Nice words, Nigel. Chris G, I used to assemble pit bosses at Lowe's for a side job. They're very well built and heavy. Cool. Good information. Good information. All right, let's see here. John Knapp, is that 100 US? I don't think the exchange rate's that high for pounds. Let's see. Chris G, I would sincerely pay money for your jingle as a ringtone. Well, Kevin Nash, Pit Boss does have a series of cabinet smokers that are true smokers and not pellet grills. The cabinet series can do lower temps like 170 for doing jerky and still go above 350. That's a nice range. Yeah, jerky's nice to do. I try and do it about 175 when I do it. So that's a good range to have. Nice. John, no, 1 pound is approximately 30% more for your dollar, bro. Yeah. Exchange rates always confuse me. Dive Master Matt, thank you. Gonna spatchcock a whole chicken and smoke it tonight in the kettle. We'll do tri-tip tomorrow. Good combination. Awesome. I've smoked many chickens on the kettle. Yeah. John Knapp, I like that you can have a noisemaker set up like Kramer. Yeah, I should. Thiago, a donation to the meat fund. Rye, I'm here waiting for that awesome Wagyu brisket. Maybe a donation piggy bank will do the job. Love your vids. Thank you, Thiago. I appreciate that. And let's see. I think it's time to have a visit back from Bat Cow, maybe?
Bat Cow thanks you.
Oh, man.
Right on, Bat Cow.
Oh, no, Bat Cow.
You're mine now, piggy.
Oh, brother. Thiago, thank you for the donation to the meat fund. And I don't know if you guys can hear me when that's playing. I'm just laughing. I think it's so hilarious that somehow in this live stream became a thing. That somehow from, you know, the stupid little thing I did where it sounded, someone said like a cow stepping on a bat, that we got to Bat Cow. And then we got to Pig Robin. And then we got to Chicken Joker. So thank you very much, Thiago. I appreciate it. Let's see. Nigel, this community is making a difference. This is just beginning. Fantastic times ahead. Thank you very much, Nigel. Licks59, I'm old school. No pellets or electric or gas. You're doing wood. Nothing wrong with that. But I'll use anything. I'll cook with anything that I can, you know, get heat from. I don't know if you ever saw it, but I did a video where I built a DIY smoker out of foil pans. If you want to see it, search my channel for DIY smoker. And I smoked a tri-tip on it, and I got to tell you, it worked. It absolutely was a good tri-tip. You know, it wasn't the best tri-tip, but it was good tri-tip. And I was really surprised. I did that on a total lark. I just thought, yeah, I wonder if I could do this. And I did it. Just awesome. Yeah. Fire and Water Cooking. Check out Easy Smoker Tubes on Amazon and use the discount Fire and Water for 10% off. All right. Let's see. Let's Try It Barbecue. What's up, Bri, from upstate South Carolina? Hope you're having a great Saturday. I am having a fantastic Saturday. I'm doing great. Wells Family Homestead. I just bought the charcoal briquette holders. They seem to be holding the heat longer and use less briquettes. What other things have they done for you? What's funny is I've actually inverted those and used those to hold my cast iron Dutch oven up from the bottom of the kettle so I can get coals underneath. And in fact, I'll be doing that today, making the turkey chili verde in the cast iron Dutch oven. I've used those to sort of contain charcoal along the side of the kettle. They just work really well. They're a simple item and they work well. Yeah. Corey Harris, what's your favorite cut of meat to smoke? Tri-tip. Absolutely, hands down, my favorite cut of meat to smoke. It's easy. It's predictable. It doesn't take a long time. And I just love it. That's just my favorite, yeah. Delana, have you heard about cheese doodle on turkey this year? I have not. Is that a thing? Cheese doodle on turkey? I have not heard about that. Wow. Corey Harris, any species? Oh, so you're talking, okay, other than beef? Well, I mean, beef is my favorite. Tri-tip is my favorite of the beef cuts. Pork, if you're doing pork, it's ribs. I prefer to do ribs. They're my favorite to smoke, yeah. So yeah, tri-tip if I'm going for beef, man. That's it. That's my favorite. Chris G, ever stuff whole garlic cloves under the skin of the turkey between the skin and the meat? It's pretty tasty. I haven't done that under the skin. I've stuffed them in the flesh, but not under the skin. That's interesting. I'll have to try that. David Gonzalez, how you doing? Rye, for Thanksgiving, I want to smoke a turkey for a couple of hours, then finish it off in the deep fryer to get the skin crispy. Have you ever done this? I've seen guys do it on YouTube do it. Your thoughts? It's absolutely doable. The two things you're going to have to do is, if you smoke it for a couple hours to get the smoke flavor, you're then going to have to make sure there's very little moisture stuck in that cavity, because sometimes it'll build up if you're doing it whole before you put it in the deep fryer, because you'll get, you know, water with oil. So you really want to make sure it's dry. The other thing you're going to need to do is calculate the time. Like on my electric fryer, it's 3.5 minutes per pound. So, but if you've already pre-cooked that turkey a bit, you're going to have to adjust that and really test it. So, you know, you might do it and then your skin is going to be partly cooked already. So, yeah, I don't know. I mean, if you're going to do it, I would really experiment with, you know, the first time before you're going to do it for a big deal and see how well it works, because you're not going to want to overcook the meat to get that skin crispy, because it's already going to be partially cooked as smoked and when you smoke it. Raphael, I think it doesn't matter what kind of pitch you use as long as the results meet your expectations. I 100% agree. The only rule in any of the stuff that we love to do is, does it end up tasting good? Do people enjoy it? You can break every other rule. I don't care what rule it is. You know, as long as the food comes out tasting good and people enjoy it, that's the key. Yeah. Culinary Cookhouse, Mike, how you doing? Good to see you. Man, that is it pronounced crotons that you made? Those looked really good. Those looked really good, man. Marsha Probst, my dad used dry cow dung to smoke beehives. Do not recommend. Okay, I'll avoid that. Nigel, David, best not to do that, bro. Let's see. So there's a no to the smoking and then deep frying, because it really is about, you've got to get the meat to the right temp to be safe. And if you're going to deep fry it, the chance to get the skin crispy after smoking it, you're going to be pushing that meat beyond like the 165 you're shooting for. So I'd be really careful if I was doing that, because you may end up either with really overcooked turkey or undercooked turkey, which is worse. So be careful. Test it first. Make sure you have a safe temp before you eat that turkey. Let's see. Hubert Jass. Speaking of cheese and the electric smoker, I just found this on Masterbuilt 6-hour slow. Yeah, I saw that, the slow smoker attachment. I had seen a couple videos on how to make your own, which I was going to investigate before I convert mine and see if that would actually work. Let's see. Deirdre Hill, thanks for the turkey carcass. We'll make turkey broth. That's my sister-in-law. We sent a turkey carcass over last night. So they're going to be making some soup from that. Culinary Cookhouse. Go Browns. Okay. Kevin Nash. Have three big 3 to 4 pound slabs of pork belly and 2-gallon bag curing using the Morton's Tender Quick with some pepper and brown sugar. Should have some good smoked bacon pics. Nice. Yeah, send those pictures. Do. Absolutely. Delana. Yes, I say it on Facebook. Okay, cool. Bottle Cap Barbecue. Mike and his foosball. Yeah, you Browns fans, you know, I'll tip my hat to you. You know, I know that they catch some grief. Let's see. Let me get caught up here. Get caught up. Let's see. Catching. I am Bible Fellowship. Spatchcocking the turkey in the Oklahoma Joes will cook faster, right? Yes, but not yes because it's just spatchcocked. It's really about the airflow. One of the things about spatchcocking on the Oklahoma Joes is it's almost going to be sideways. Like one hemisphere of the turkey is going to be closer to the firebox. So you're going to have to rotate it. The other thing is you're just going to probably want to cook it at a little bit of a higher temperature. Keep that 300 and above. So it can cook quicker, but you'd be surprised that you may not get that much more of a quick cook when you're cooking at a little bit of a lower temperature for a whole turkey, even if it's spatchcocked. Should be a little quicker, but I don't think it's going to be appreciably quicker. It hasn't been for me when I've done that. I'm talking maybe half an hour to an hour shorter, which I guess makes a difference, but you know, it's not like cutting the time in half when I've done a spatchcock versus a whole turkey. Let's see, get caught up here. Budball 2. Hey, did you see that Masterbuilt Thermopro propane smoker? Doesn't look bad, maintains the temperature, goes up 350. I did see that. They were advertising that just recently. I don't have a propane smoker, but that one actually looked really interesting. I would consider that if you were looking for a smoker and you didn't mind using propane on something that kind of is more traditionally easy electric, which is what I like about the electric smokers. So yeah, a propane smoker like that one looked really nice, I gotta say. I did see that ad, yeah. Roy Brandt, how you doing, Roy? I'm looking for a new barbecue and just one barbecue. I have a Weber 22, cook on it a couple times a week, thinking of the Weber 26 for more space. Other cookers, your thoughts, great vids. Thank you. I appreciate that. I want a 26-inch Weber. That's my next thing to move to. That said, if you already have a 22 and you're looking for more capacity, I mean, if you're just looking for straight more real estate to cook on, then yeah, a 26-inch would be good. But you're just duplicating the 22 on a larger scale. Are you going to still use the 22 for other things? If you are, then I think that's a great idea. If you're looking for something larger and you don't mind spending a little more money, investigate some of the rectangular units that give you more cooking space. Investigate a PK Grills. There's another one, I cannot remember the model name, the manufacturer, that makes a really nice rectangular charcoal unit. If anyone thinks of it, tell me. If you guys know what I'm talking about, or any of the other rectangular units, drop it in the chat. But yeah, I love the idea of that 26-inch for real estate. That's the reason that I want it. From what I've been told, though, it just eats charcoal, so be prepared for that. I know I am, but yeah, I'm looking for that. Let's see. Wells Family Homestead. What is spatchcocking or spatchcooking? Well, spatchcocking, if you're not familiar, is basically you remove the spine of the turkey or the chicken and break the breastbone so it lays flat. So instead of this being your bird, it's this. It lays flat. And so generally it will cook a little quicker because you're getting you're not having to get heat into a cavity. You're just getting heat all around the bird. So yeah, spatchcocking is a great way to cook chickens and turkeys. John Knapp, Roy Brandt, step up to the Kamado Joe. They're coming out with a 3rd generation next year. If you can't cook on that thing, just say it. Yeah, I forgot about the ceramic cookers. If you want to spend a little more money on some of them, Kamado Joe, Big Green Egg, things like that. The Joes are really popular. I don't have one. And it was funny. I was at my wood place getting wood, and 2 reps from Kamado Joe were there. And so we were talking for about 15 minutes, and they were trying to sell me on it. It's like, yeah, okay, I get it. They're good. Someday, maybe, but right now, I in terms of real estate where my cookers are, I don't want to fill it up too much. I want to be respectful of my yard where, my wife and family, we use it. So I'm not opposed to the idea of a ceramic cooker. They're great. I know people that love them. So, but yeah, if you're looking for something like that to move up to, that wouldn't be a bad choice. Let's see. Chris G. Some turkey awareness on weight. I recommend under 15 because odds are good you'll get a hen which is smaller. Drumstick bones. The tom turkeys have thick drum bones with large bones in there. Interesting. Didn't know that. I didn't know that. And hens are generally more tender. I had heard that. Thiago, I saw Brazilian tri-tip. Then you should try Brazilian picana too. And if you decide that, let me give you 2 basic tips. Only do it in an open fire and only coarse sea salt as seasoning. It's weird. In this area, picana is actually harder to find in my area. I've only seen it a couple places, and I wasn't 100% impressed with the looks of it. So I'd love to do picana. I just want to find a good source. So I've got to find a better supplier for things like that. And it's weird because, a lot of people say, oh, tri-tip and picana basically the same thing. No, they're not. They cook very differently, and the flavor profiles of them when you do them, their individual ways kind of traditionally are very different. So yeah, I'd love to do a picana. Let's see. Kevin Nash, I would consider that propane smoker also. You might spend more on propane fuel for those on a couple long brisket or pork butt cooks, however. Yeah, it's a choice for fuel. It is. Zoltan, Rai, what do your family think about you making YouTube videos? They love it. I mean, my wife is very much involved in the videos. She's been in a couple. You've probably seen her tasting and doing things. A lot of the recipes are things, that are hers too. So she's very involved. Usually when I'm filming or doing something, she's standing right there watching. Sometimes I've included clips of me laughing and saying something to her. It's kind of like blooper stuff in there. So no, she loves it, and yeah, it's great. We have fun doing it. Fire and water cooking. I love my Kamado Joe, Big Joe. Yeah, that's what I hear. Everybody who has them loves them. Raphael, I have a gas smoker, but just because out of convenience, since I have a Napoleon gas grill, does its job pretty well if you get used to its drawbacks. Interesting. Okay. Nigel, Kamado is gold standard. Would love one. Yeah. Fire and water cooking. Latin markets are good source for picanha. I have looked at the Latin markets, and again, it's kind of like the looks of the meat, and I'm pretty picky about the meat that I use when I can get it. So I really want it to be a good quality, and especially when they don't have answers about, where is it from, when did you get it, that stuff. I'm pretty picky. So yeah. Fire and water cooking. I'm shooting a video today going over the difference between tri-tip and picanha. Nice. Yeah. Nigel, PK is another gold standard. Yeah, the PK grills I've heard great things about. David B had my first tri-tip. Not bad. Cool. Yeah, I mean, I'm doing a couple tri-tips on next Friday, or on Friday this coming week, in addition to turkey, because we have, family coming over for our second Thanksgiving, and we wanted to do something in addition to turkey, so I'm going to be doing a couple tri-tips for that day. So it's going to be turkey and beef. Yeah. Let me see. Okay, guys, it is, wow, we've been going over an hour. Nice. I have got to start wrapping this up because I have got to get out and start cooking for another video. So I want to thank you guys all for coming today and stopping by. And remember, there will be no live stream next Saturday on, what would it be, what is today, 17th, on the 24th. But there will be one on this Wednesday, the 21st, 4 p.m. Pacific. That's the day before Thanksgiving here in the United States. If you're around and you want to chat and talk about food and Thanksgiving and food and anything, stop on by. I'll be here. I'm going to start at 4 p.m. Pacific and go, I don't know, an hour, 2 hours, whatever. Just see how it goes. So if you're around, stop by then. And yeah, so let me just double check anything in here. Okay, everybody. All right, cool. Everybody, thank you very much for coming today. I appreciate everybody stopping by and having fun. Thanks for the donations to the Meat Fund. And I'm still working on that other animation to bring, some justice to Chicken Joker. So everybody, thank you. Have a great weekend. And if I don't see you before Thanksgiving and you're in the States here, have a wonderful Thanksgiving. And just everybody, thank you so much. And have a great day.